I'm here in the beautiful Catskill Mountains. But are they actually mountains?
The Catskills are about 380 million years old and were made of mostly rock from the Devonian era. Back then, New York was covered by a shallow sea, and layers of sediment were built up over time to form sedimentary rock. The Acadian orogeny, a mountain building event caused by North America and parts of Europe colliding into each other, forced rock to the surface in a process known as uplift, creating the Appalachian Mountains. The heart of this orogeny also created the Allegheny Plateau, a massive area of raised land that includes parts of West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. The Catskills are a part of the Allegheny Plateau, meaning they aren't actually mountains. So, why do they look like mountains if they're not actually mountains? Well, the Catskills and the Allegheny Plateau in general are what geologists call a dissected plateau. Dissected plateaus are distinct from mountains caused by orogenies because the heat and pressure put onto rocks by orogenies will warp them, causing them to transform into metamorphic rock and even fold under the pressure. The Catskills aren't made of metamorphic rock, and are mostly still made of flat layers, with none of the warping you see in mountains made by orogenies. Dissected plateaus get their looks from two processes: glacial activity and water erosion. Let's talk about water first.
Water erodes landscapes by carrying away soil and sediment, and as the banks and channel of a stream widen and deepen, the more sediment and rock get washed away. Over thousands of years, enough was removed to make the landscape completely unrecognizable. The Hudson Valley was formed by water erosion after melting glaciers sent a massive flood that washed out much of the area. The second factor that took the Catskills from a plateau to what they are today is glaciation. New York has had plenty of ice ages, but we'll talk about the most recent one, which happened between 26,000 and 20,000 years ago. During that ice age, all of Canada and most of the northern United States was covered in about 2.6 miles of ice. Glacial erosion creates less jagged peaks from water, and wider valleys too. The Catskills were already eroded from regular stream activity, but the glaciers widened the valleys and rounded most of the jagged peaks, as well as causing more water erosion from meltwater. Glaciers can also bulldoze topsoil and even drag boulders for miles, leaving them in places where they don't fit in with the bedrock. Those are called erratics. Between streams and glaciers, the entire Allegheny Plateau was fractured and dissected to the point where it really doesn't look like a plateau anymore. You wouldn't think the Catskills were anything besides mountains unless you took a closer look, but with a little digging, we can find out its true origin story. We've got a lot to learn about our world, and I hope you learned a little about how and why our landscape looks the way it does.